I thought I was building a future. I thought her family loved me. I signed every paper she put in front of me. By the time I understood what the words meant, I'd lost everything. My savings, my pension, my dignity. And she was already planning her next life, one that didn't include me. I'm sitting beside Kanya at this riverside restaurant in Chiang Mai, watching her laugh at something I just said. Her eyes crinkle at the corners when she smiles like that. It's genuine, I tell myself. It has to be. She reaches across the table and squeezes my hand. "You so funny, teddy bear," she says, still giggling. Teddy bear. That's what she calls me. Nobody's called me anything sweet in years. My ex-wives sure as hell didn't. The first one left me for a younger bloke when I was 43. The second one, well, she just stopped talking to me altogether. We lived in the same house for 2 years, like strangers before the divorce papers finally came. I retired from electrical work at 65, took my pension, and realized I had nobody to share it with. Brisbane felt empty. My kids from the first marriage barely called. I'd sit in my flat watching the news, eating microwave dinners, wondering if this was all there was left. So 6 months ago, I booked a one-way ticket to Thailand. No plan, just escape. I landed in Bangkok, spent a week there, then drifted north to Chiang Mai. That's where everything changed. I met Kanya at the Sunday night market. She had a little stall selling handmade jewelry, silver bracelets with little elephant charms. I stopped to look, and she smiled at me. Not the smile you give a tourist, something warmer. "You like?" she asked, holding up a bracelet. "Very beautiful," I said. She laughed. "Not bracelet. You have kind face." I felt my chest tighten. When was the last time someone said that to me? I bought 3 bracelets I didn't need and asked if she'd have coffee with me sometime. She said yes. Now here we are, 6 months later, and she's talking about us getting married. "I think we should do it soon," she says, still holding my hand. "Make it official, you know?" I nod, feeling something warm spread through me. "Yeah, I think so too." She leans forward, her voice dropping. "My family, they ask about you. They want to meet Syria's boyfriend." I feel proud hearing that. Her family wants to meet me. That means something. "I'd love to meet them," I tell her. "Whenever you want." She smiles again, softer this time. "Next week, we go to my village. You meet Mama, my brother, my uncle. They very excited." I squeeze her hand back. "I'll be there." For the first time in years, I feel like I matter to someone. Like I'm not just some old bloke counting down the days. Kanya makes me feel alive. She listens when I talk about my life back home, about my work, about the things I miss. She asks questions. She cares. Or at least, that's what I believe. That night, walking back to my apartment, she loops her arm through mine. "You happy?" she asks. "Very happy," I say. And I mean it. I'm 68 years old and I'm falling in love again. I didn't think that was possible. I thought I was done. But here in Chiang Mai, with this beautiful woman half my age, I feel like I've been given a second chance, maybe even a third. I don't question why she's with me. I don't ask what she sees in an old Australian electrician with gray hair and a bit of a gut. I just accept it. I accept her. Because I need this. I need her. And that need, I'll realize later, was the first crack in everything. The drive to Nakhon Ratchasima takes about 5 hours. Kanya's driving her cousin's pickup truck, and I'm in the passenger seat, watching the landscape change from city to countryside. Rice fields stretch out on both sides of the highway, bright green and endless. Water buffalo stand in the shade. It's peaceful. Kanya's been quiet most of the drive, focused on the road, but I can tell she's nervous. "You okay?" I ask. She glances at me, smiles a little. "Yes, just, I want them to like you." "They will," I say, trying to sound confident. "But I'm nervous too. I've never been good at meeting parents. Hell, my own kids barely tolerate me. What if her family thinks I'm too old for her? What if they think I'm just some foreigner taking advantage?" But when we pull up to the house, all my worries melt away. It's a modest place, wooden walls, a tin roof, dirt yard with a few chickens pecking around. Kanya's mother, Fra, steps out onto the porch. She's small, maybe 5 feet tall, wearing a simple dress and a warm smile. She presses her hands together in a Y and bows slightly. I do the same, hoping I'm doing it right. Sawadee crap, I say, one of the few Thai words I know. Fra laughs, delighted, and says something in rapid Thai to Kanya. Kanya translates. She says, "Your Thai very good." I laugh. Tell her I'm still learning. A young guy comes out next, mid-20s, big smile, loose tank top and shorts. This is Somdet, Kanya's younger brother. He bounds over and shakes my hand hard. "Welcome, welcome. You Lachlan, yes? That's me. Good, good. Kanya talk about you all the time. She say you very nice man. I feel my chest swell a bit. She's pretty nice herself." He laughs and claps me on the shoulder. Come inside. Uncle Arthur here too. He want to meet you." Inside, the house is simple but clean. There's a low table in the main room, cushions on the floor, a small TV in the corner playing a Thai drama. An older man sits at the table, maybe mid-50s, lean and weathered, smoking a cigarette. This is Arthur. He stands when I enter and offers his hand. "Lachlan," he says in accented but clear English. "Good to meet you. Kanya speak very high of you." "Good to meet you too," I say, shaking his hand. His grip is firm. He gestures to the cushions. Sit. We have drink, yes? You like Thai whiskey?" "Sure," I say, even though I'm not much of a whiskey drinker. He pours from a bottle with a label I can't read and hands me a glass. We toast. "To family," he says. "To family," I repeat, and take a sip. It burns going down, but I smile anyway. We sit and talk for a while. Arthur asks me about Australia, about my work, about how I like Thailand. I tell him I love it here, that it's peaceful, that the people are kind. He nods, pleased. Fra brings out food, plates of rice, fried chicken, somtam, sticky rice. It's delicious. I eat too much, and they laugh at me, but it's good-natured. I feel welcome. After dinner, Kanya walks me outside. The sun's setting, casting everything in gold. She leans against the porch railing, looking out at the fields. "They like you," she says quietly. "You think so?" "I know so. My mama, she tell me you good man. She say you have good heart." I feel a lump form in my throat. I don't know why. Maybe because I haven't felt accepted like this in so long. "Your family's wonderful," I tell her. She turns to me, her eyes serious. "Lachlan, I want to tell you something." "What is it?" "This house, it not easy for my family. My father died 5 years ago. Since then, Mama work very hard. Somdet, he try to find job but not easy in village. Uncle Arthur, he help when he can. But it hard, you know." I nod, my heart sinking a little. I can see where this is going. I understand. "I don't want you to think I need your money," she says quickly. "I don't. But if one day, if my family need help, I hope you understand. Family very important in Thailand." "Of course," I say. "I get it. Family's important." She smiles, relieved, and kisses me on the cheek. "Thank you for understanding, teddy bear." That night, lying on a thin mattress in the guest room, I stare at the ceiling and think about what she said. I don't mind helping. Hell, I want to help. They've accepted me, made me feel like part of something. If I can make their lives a little easier, why wouldn't I? But there's a small voice in the back of my head, a tiny whisper of doubt. I push it away. I'm being paranoid. Kanya's not using me. Her family's not using me. They're just trying to survive, like everyone else. And I have the means to help, so I will. 3 weeks later, Kanya and I are back in Chiang Mai, sitting in my apartment. She's quiet, staring at her phone. I'm making us tea when she finally speaks. "Lachlan, I need to tell you something." I turn. Her face is pale. "What's wrong?" She hesitates, then sets her phone down. "It's my mama," She's sick. My stomach drops. What do you mean sick? Her kidneys. She have problem for long time, but now. Doctors say she need treatment. Medicine. Maybe small surgery. Jesus. Is she okay? She okay now. But if she don't get treatment, it get worse. Doctors say it cost 80,000 baht. I do the quick math in my head. That's about 3,000 Australian dollars. Not a huge amount, but not pocket change either. How much time does she have? I ask. Kanya's eyes fill with tears. I don't know. Doctors say soon, but we don't have money. Som debt. He try to work, but village jobs pay nothing. Uncle Arthur, he help with bills, but he don't have savings. She looks at me, and I see the plea in her eyes before she even says it. Lachlan, I don't want to ask you. I hate to ask you, but I don't know what else to do. I move to the couch and sit beside her, taking her hand. Hey, it's okay. I'll help. She blinks, surprised. You will? Of course I will. Your mum's important to you, and you're important to me. I'm not going to let her suffer if I can do something about it. The tears spill over, and she throws her arms around me. Thank you, teddy bear. Thank you so much. I pay you back, I promise. Don't worry about that, I say, holding her. Just make sure she gets the care she needs. The next day, I transfer 80,000 baht to Kanya's Thai bank account. She shows me the receipt, cries again, and calls her mother. I hear Frey's voice on the other end, emotional, thanking me in Thai. Kanya translates. She say you like son to her now. She say Buddha bless you. I feel good about it, really good, like I've done something that matters. But then a week later, Somdet calls Kanya. I'm there when she takes the call. She listens, her face tightening, and then hangs up. What's wrong? I ask. It's Somdet. He say he need motorbike for work. He get job in next town but too far to walk. Motorbike costs 50,000 baht. 50,000. About 2,000 Australian. I hesitate. Can't he save up for it? Kanya shakes her head. He need it now or he lose job, and we already ask Uncle Arthur for so much. I don't know what to do. She looks at me, and I feel it again. That pull, that need to be the solution. How much did you say? 50,000 baht. I sigh. Okay, I'll transfer it. Her face lights up. Really? You sure? Yeah, if it helps him get work, then it's worth it. She hugs me tight, and for a moment, I feel like a hero. But later that night, I meet Greg at a bar near my apartment. Greg's a British expat, 62, been in Thailand for a decade. We've had a few beers together over the months. I tell him about Frey's medical bills and Somdet's motorbike. Greg listens, sipping his beer, and then he looks at me hard. Mate, I'm going to tell you something you're not going to want to hear. What? Once you start, it never stops. I frown. What are you talking about? Family loans, village obligations. You're a farang with money. To them, you're a walking ATM. First, it's the mum's medical bills. Then it's the brother's motorbike. Next, it'll be the roof needs fixing, or the cousin needs school fees, or someone's sick again. It never ends. I feel defensive. They're not like that. Kanya's not using me. Greg raises his hands. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm saying this is how it works here. Family takes care of family, and if you're going to be family, you're expected to pay. That's just the culture. Well, they're going to be my family, I say. I don't mind helping. He shakes his head, looking almost sad. All right, mate, just be careful, yeah? I leave the bar feeling annoyed. Greg doesn't know Kanya. He doesn't know her family. He's just a cynical old expat who's been burned before. But I'm different. My situation's different. Kanya loves me. I can feel it. I go home, crawl into bed beside her, and she murmurs in her sleep, curling against me. I close my eyes and tell myself Greg's wrong. 2 months later, Kanya brings up the house. We're having dinner at a small restaurant near her apartment when she pulls out a folded piece of paper. I want to show you something, she says, unfolding it. It's a hand-drawn sketch of a house. Simple but charming. 2 bedrooms, a big porch, a kitchen with space for a garden. What's this? I ask. Our house, she says, smiling. I've been thinking. You and me, we should build house together. In my village. We can live there when you ready to leave city. Quiet, peaceful. We grow old together there. I stare at the sketch. It's a nice idea, really nice. But houses aren't cheap. How much would something like this cost? She bites her lip. Uncle Arthit, he no contractor. Good man, fair price. He say maybe 1.2 million baht. 1.2 million baht. That's about 45,000 Australian dollars. I feel my chest tighten. That's a lot of money, Kanya. I know, but it's investment, teddy bear. Our future. Right now you pay rent here. I pay rent too. We both waste money. If we build house, we own it. We save money long term. She's not wrong. Rent in Chiang Mai is not terrible, but it adds up. And having a place of my own, a place we built together, that does sound appealing. But $45,000 is a big chunk of my savings. Can I think about it? I ask. She nods, folding the paper back up. Of course. No pressure. I just want you to know, this what I dream about. You and me, our house, our life. That night, I lie awake doing the math in my head. I've got about 280,000 Australian dollars left in savings and superannuation. 45,000 is a lot, but I'd still have plenty left. And Kanya's right, it is an investment. I wouldn't be throwing money away on rent, but there's that voice again, that tiny whisper of doubt. I push it down. A week later, I tell her yes. Her face lights up and she throws her arms around me. Really? You sure? I'm sure. Let's build our house. She kisses me hard, and for a moment, all my doubts vanish. The next day, we drive back to the village to meet with Uncle Arthit and the contractor. The contractor's name is Wichai, a stocky man in his 40s with a firm handshake. Arthit translates as Wichai explains the process. Foundation first, then walls, then roof. It'll take about 4 months, he says. Maybe 5. And the cost? I ask. 1.2 million baht, Arthit confirms. Good price. Wichai, very honest man. I nod. Okay, let's do it. We shake hands, and I transfer the first installment that afternoon. 300,000 baht to get started. Kanya's thrilled. Fra hugs me. Somdet claps me on the back. I feel like a king. Construction starts the following week. I drive out to the village every weekend to check on progress. The first month, things move fast. The foundation's poured, walls start going up. I take photos, send them to my daughter back in Australia. She replies with a thumbs up emoji, but doesn't say much else. But by the second month, I start noticing things. Fra's at the site a lot, talking to Wichai, pointing at things. Somdet's there too, making suggestions. I don't speak Thai, so I don't know what they're saying, but they're clearly making decisions. What are they talking about? I ask Kanya one afternoon. She's standing beside me, watching the workers. Oh, just small things. Mama think we should move window here instead of there. Somdet say we need bigger water tank. Shouldn't we be deciding that? I ask, trying to keep my tone light. She looks at me surprised. They just trying to help, teddy bear. They know about houses in village. What works, what doesn't. Yeah, but it's our house. And they family. In Thailand. Family help each other. It's normal. I nod, feeling stupid. I don't want to seem controlling. I don't want to be the farang who swoops in and ignores local knowledge. So I let it go. But I notice she's been busier lately. She doesn't come to my apartment as much. When I call, she often doesn't answer. When she does, she's distracted. Sorry, teddy bear, I'm with Mama, she'll say. Or, I at the house site, talking to Wichai. I tell myself it's fine. She's busy. We're building a house. Of course she's busy. But late at night, alone in my apartment, I wonder if something's changing, if she's pulling away. And then I push the thought out of my head. I'm being paranoid. She loves me. We're building a future together. Everything's fine. 3 months into construction, Kanya drops a bomb. We're at the site and I'm looking at the paperwork which I handed me. It's all in Thai. I can't read a word. What's this? I ask Kanya. It's land title, she says. For the house. I frown. Why do I need to sign this? She hesitates. Lachlan, there's something I need to tell you. In Thailand, farang cannot own land. I blink. What? Foreigners. You cannot own land here. It's the law. I feel a coldness creep into my chest. So who owns the land? It'd have to be in Thai name. My name. I stare at her. You're saying the land is in your name? The house we're building? She nods quickly. But it's okay, teddy bear. We getting married soon, remember? So it's same. What's mine is yours. But legally, I don't own anything. Legally, no. But we together, we love each other. It doesn't matter whose name on paper. I look down at the document. My hands are shaking. $45,000. I've spent $45,000 on a house I won't legally own. Why didn't you tell me this before? I ask. I didn't think about it, she says. It's just how things work here. I thought you knew. I didn't know. I had no idea. I feel sick. Kanya, this is a lot of money. I need some kind of protection. I know. That's why we go to lawyer. He write document. Make sure everything protected. Okay? I want to say no. I want to say this is insane. But what choice do I have? The house is already half built. I've already spent the money. Walking away now means losing everything. Okay, I say quietly. Let's go to the lawyer. 2 days later, we drive to Bangkok. Kanya's arranged a meeting with a lawyer named Niran. He's in his 40s, well-dressed, professional-looking. His office is sleek and modern. We sit across from him and he smiles at me. Mr. Lachlan, good to meet you. Kanya, tell me you have concern about property. Yeah. I'm putting a lot of money into this house, and I want to make sure I'm protected. He nods. Understandable. In Thailand, foreigner cannot own land, but we can make agreement, contract between you and Kanya. It say you invest money, you have right to live in house, you have claim if relationship end, and that's legally binding? Yes, very strong. Thai court recognize. He slides a document across the desk. It's in Thai with a rough English translation at the bottom. I try to read it, but the English is clunky and full of legal jargon. Can I get a proper English version? I ask. Niran smiles. This is English version. Same. Just formality. I look at Kanya. She nods, encouragingly. It's okay, teddy bear. This protect you. I pick up the pen. My hand hovers over the signature line. Every instinct in my body is screaming at me to stop, to walk out, to get a second opinion. But I don't. I sign. Niran witnesses it, stamps it, and shakes my hand. Congratulations. Now you protected. We leave the office, and Kanya's relieved. See? Everything okay now. But I don't feel okay. I feel trapped. That night, back in Chiang Mai, I meet Greg at the same bar. I tell him what happened. He listens, his face darkening. Mate, did you just put the house in her name? I nod. He sets his beer down. Did you read the contract? I tried. It was in Thai. Did you get it independently reviewed by another lawyer? No. Greg rubs his face. Lachlan, mate, you don't own anything. You know that, right? I have a contract. A contract written by her lawyer. A contract you can't read. Mate, you're screwed. I feel my anger flare. You don't know that. You're just assuming the worst. I'm assuming the worst because I've seen this happen a dozen times. You're not the first farang to fall for this. Fall for what? She loves me. Greg looks at me, and for the first time, I see pity in his eyes. Does she? I don't answer. I finish my beer and leave. That night, lying in bed, I stare at the ceiling. Does she love me? Of course she does. She has to. We're building a life together. We're getting married. But then why do I feel like I'm sinking? 4 months later, Uncle Arthur pitches the guest house idea. We're sitting at Fra's house, eating dinner, when he brings it up. Lachlan, I have idea, he says, pouring me more whiskey. For house. What kind of idea? Guest house. Small guest house on property. Maybe 4, 5 rooms. Tourists come to village. They want place to stay. You build guest house. You make money. Pay for itself in 2 years. I look at Kanya. She's nodding enthusiastically. It's good idea, teddy bear. We make income. Help with bills. How much would it cost? I ask. Arthur shrugs. Maybe 800,000 baht. Not so much. And you get money back fast. 800,000 baht. That's another 30,000 Australian dollars. I feel a knot form in my stomach. I don't know. That's a lot of money. Kanya reaches over and takes my hand. Lachlan, this is for us. For our future. Right now we have house but no income. Guest house give us income. We don't have to worry about money anymore. I want to say no. I want to tell them I'm tapped out. That I've already spent too much. But the way she's looking at me, the way Arthur's smiling, the way Fra's nodding, I can't. Let me think about it, I say. That night, Kanya and I are alone in the house, lying on the mattress we've set up in the unfinished bedroom. She's curled against me. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, she says softly. But it would really help us, teddy bear. I know you work hard for your money. I don't want to waste it. But this is investment. I stare at the ceiling. My savings are down to about 220,000 Australian dollars. If I spend another 30,000, I'll be down to 190. That's still plenty, I tell myself. I can afford it. Okay, I say. Let's do it. She kisses me. Thank you. I promise. You won't regret it. But I already do. Construction on the guest house starts a month later. The costs start to balloon immediately. First it's 900,000 baht. Then it's 1 million. Then 1.2 million. Every week, there's a new expense. Which I needs more materials. The roof costs more than expected. The plumbing's more complicated. I ask to see receipts. Kanya gets defensive. You don't trust me? I just want to know where the money's going. It's going to our guest house. Our business. Why you asking so many questions? Because I'm the one paying for it. Her face hardens. I didn't ask you to pay. You offered. Because you asked me to. She stands up, angry now. You know what, Lachlan? Maybe you not ready for this. Maybe you not ready for us. I feel panic rise in my chest. Kanya, wait. She storms out. I sit there, feeling like the walls are closing in. I chase after her, apologize, promise I'll stop asking questions. She cools down, but the damage is done. I've learned my place. Don't question. Don't push. Just pay. The guest house finally opens 6 months later. It's nice. Really nice. 5 rooms, clean, modern bathrooms, a little communal kitchen. Kanya puts up ads online. We wait for bookings. None come. A few inquiries, but nobody books. The village is too remote. The competition's too fierce. And Kanya doesn't know how to market it properly. I suggest hiring someone to help. She says we can't afford it. I realize, too late, that the guest house was never a real business. It was just another way to extract money from me. I've spent over 75,000 Australian dollars now. My savings are down to 145,000. I feel hollow. The wedding happens on a Saturday in January. It's a small ceremony, traditional Thai style, held at Fra's house. I've paid for everything, the monks, the food, the flowers, the gifts for the family. It costs 250,000 baht, another 9,500 Australian dollars. Kanya looks beautiful in her traditional Thai dress, gold and red silk, intricate patterns. I'm wearing a white shirt and dress pants, sweating in the heat. The monks chant. We sit on cushions, hands bound with string, while Fra and Arthur and Somdet pour water over our hands. It's supposed to be a blessing. I'm supposed to feel joyful, but I don't. I feel empty. Kanya barely looks at me. She smiles for the photos, poses with me, but her eyes are distant. After the ceremony, there's a feast. Tables set up in the yard, neighbors from the village, distant relatives I've never met. They eat and drink and laugh. I sit at the head table, smiling, nodding, pretending everything's fine. Somdet claps me on the back. "You family now," he says, grinning. Arthit raises a glass. "To Lachlan and Kanya. Everyone toasts. I drink. That night, after everyone leaves, I wait for Kanya in the bedroom of the house we built. Our house. But she doesn't come. I hear her in the other room, talking to her mother. I lie on the bed alone, staring at the ceiling fan spinning slowly. I realize something then, something I've been avoiding for months. This isn't a marriage. It never was. It was a transaction. I gave money. They gave me a wedding. But I'm not her husband. I'm her ATM. I fall asleep alone. When I wake up, she's still not beside me. 2 weeks after the wedding, I check my bank account. I do it on my phone, sitting in the guest house, which is still empty of tourists. The number makes my stomach drop. 135,000 Australian dollars. I've spent over $300,000 in less than a year. My pension's been drained. My savings are gutted. I feel like I can't breathe. I walk back to the house and find Kanya in the kitchen, making tea. "We need to talk," I say. She doesn't look up. "About what?" "About money. I've spent everything, Kanya. I'm almost broke." She shrugs. "So? You wanted to help? I didn't force you." Her tone is cold, flat, like she doesn't care. "I helped because I thought we were building a future together, but you barely even look at me anymore." She sets the teacup down and finally meets my eyes. "What you want me to say, Lachlan? You gave money. I didn't ask for all of it. You offered. Because you made me feel like I had to. Nobody make you do anything. You wanted to be hero. You wanted my family to love you. Well, they do, but now money gone and you angry." I feel tears sting my eyes. "I'm not angry. I'm hurt. I thought you loved me." She sighs, like I'm exhausting. "I care about you, Lachlan. But love? I don't know. I have to take care of my family. That's my job. You knew that." I sit down, feeling weak. "So what now? Now you live in house. You married. You have place to stay. What more you want?" I want her to love me. I want to feel like this meant something. But I can't say that. I leave the kitchen and walk outside. I call a lawyer in Bangkok, not in Iran, someone else, a different firm. I explain the situation. They listen and then deliver the news I already knew. "Mr. Lachlan, the property is in your wife's name. Legally, you have no claim. The contract you signed, it's not very strong. In Thai court, it may not hold. So I own nothing?" "Correct. You own nothing." I hang up. I sit on the porch steps and stare at the village, at the house I paid for, at the guest house that'll never make money. I've lost everything. My savings, my pension, my dignity. I try talking to Fra, but she won't look at me. I try talking to Arthit, but he's conveniently busy. Somdet avoids me entirely. I corner Kanya one last time. I want to sell the property, split the money, start over. I'm not selling. I paid for it, and I own it. That's how it works. I realize then that I've been checkmated. Every move I made, every dollar I gave, it led me here. Trapped, broke, alone. She was never my wife. She was my business partner. And the contract just expired. I move out a week later. I rent a cheap room in Chiang Mai, a cramped studio with a single bed and a bathroom that barely works. It costs 6,000 baht a month, all I can afford now. I sit on the bed and try to figure out what went wrong, but I already know. I was lonely. I was desperate, and she saw that. One afternoon, I'm scrolling through Facebook when a mutual friend tags me in a post. It's a photo. Kanya. She's smiling, her arm around a younger Thai man. He's maybe 30, good-looking, muscular. The caption reads, "New chapter." I stare at the photo for an hour. I don't cry. I don't feel angry. I just feel empty, like something inside me has finally burned out. I send her a message. Just one. "Was any of it real?" She replies hours later. "You were kind, but I had to survive." I delete her number. I block her on Facebook. I delete every photo of us from my phone. I know now, with absolute certainty, that she never loved me. She loved what I could give, and when I had nothing left to give, I became invisible. I think about Greg's warning. Once you start, it never stops. He was right. I just didn't want to hear it. I think about the moment I met her at the night market, the way she smiled at me. Was that real? Or was she already calculating what I was worth? I'll never know, and maybe it doesn't matter. I sit in my tiny room and wonder what I'm going to do. I'm 68 years old, broke, alone in a foreign country. I can't afford to stay. I can't afford to leave. I've lost everything. And for what? For a woman who saw me as a pension fund. For a family who saw me as a tool. I have nobody to blame but myself. I'm sitting in a cafe in Chiang Mai, nursing a cup of coffee I can barely afford. It's mid-afternoon, and the place is almost empty. There's a couple at the table near the window, a young Thai woman and an older Western man. He's probably in his 50s, gray hair, kind face. She's laughing at something he said, touching his arm. I watch them and wonder if he's heading down the same path I did. I wonder if he'll listen if someone warns him. Probably not. I didn't. The coffee's cold by the time I finish it, but I don't order another one. I'm counting every baht now. My pension still comes in monthly, but it's just enough to cover rent and food. Nothing extra. I check my Australian bank account on my phone. $42,000 left. That's it. That's all I have. I spent over $300,000 in 1 year. $300,000 that I'll never get back. I think about calling my daughter, telling her what happened, asking if I can stay with her for a while when I get back to Australia. But I can't. I'm too ashamed. She warned me. She didn't say it directly, but I could hear it in her voice when I told her about Kanya. "Just be careful, Dad." I wasn't careful. I was stupid. I wanted to believe I mattered, that someone wanted me, and I paid for that belief with everything I had. I think about Kanya, not with anger anymore, just sadness. I don't blame her, not really. She did what she had to do to survive, to take care of her family. In her mind, I was a rich foreigner, and maybe I was. Maybe to her, I was never Lachlan. I was just opportunity. I think about the house, my house, except it's not mine. It never was. I drive out to the village one last time, just to see it. I park the rental car on the road and walk up. The house looks finished now. The paint's fresh. The garden's been planted. Someone's hung laundry on the porch. I see Somdet working on a motorbike in the yard, the same motorbike I bought him. He sees me and stops. We stare at each other for a long moment. He doesn't wave. He doesn't smile. He just watches me, and then he goes back to his work. I realize I'm not welcome here. I never was. I was tolerated as long as I was useful. Now I'm just a ghost. I get back in the car and drive away. I don't look back. I book a flight to Australia. One way. It's expensive. Eats into my remaining savings, but I don't have a choice. I can't stay here. Thailand was supposed to be my escape, my second chance. Instead, it became my prison. On my last night in Chiang Mai, I go to the bar where I used to meet Greg. He's there, sitting at the same stool, drinking the same beer. When he sees me, he raises his glass. "Lachlan, I heard. I'm sorry." "Mate." I sit down beside him and order a beer I can't afford. "You tried to warn me." "I did, but you weren't ready to hear it." We drink in silence for a while. Then he asks, "What are you going to do?" "Go home. Try to rebuild." He nods. "That's smart. Get out while you still can." "Did you ever have something like this happen to you?" I ask. He smiles sadly. "Everyone does, mate. That's why I tried to warn you, but nobody listens. We all think we're different, that our girl's different, and then we wake up broken alone. I finish my beer. I don't hate her, you know. I hate myself. That's the hardest part, Greg says, realizing you did it to yourself. I leave the bar and walk back to my apartment. The streets are busy, full of tourists and locals and expats just like me, chasing something they'll probably never find. I think about the last message Kanya sent me. You were kind, but I had to survive. She was right. I was kind, too kind. I let loneliness make me stupid. I let my need to be needed blind me to what was happening. I wanted to be someone's hero. Instead, I became someone's fool. On the plane back to Australia, I stare out the window at the clouds. I feel lighter, not happy, but free. I lost my money. I lost my dignity. But I learned something. Love can't be bought. You can't purchase devotion. You can't build a relationship on transactions. And loneliness, real loneliness, it makes you do desperate things. I don't know what I'm going back to. My flat in Brisbane is probably still there. My pension will keep coming. I'll survive. But I'll never be the same. I gave everything I had for a dream that was never real, and now I have to live with that. As the plane descends into Brisbane, I think about the house one last time. The house I paid for but don't own. I wonder if Kanya ever thinks about me, if she feels guilty, or if I was just another foreigner who came, gave, and left. Probably the latter. I take a deep breath and close my eyes. It's over. I'm going home. Broke. Ashamed. But awake. And maybe, in some small way, that's enough.